My issue now, and my question, is that more and more I see the illusory nature of a person. And this brings me into, it's hard to speak at this point, from that realization of not knowing. The question, what am I, seems to come up with greater force. I not believe, but I trust and believe and experience to some degree that consciousness is universal. So there is no person present or diminishing person present in being consciousness. It's as if I seem to have come to a new place where, again, I don't know what I am.
Yes, Ron, you don't know what you are, but you know for certain that you are. Yes? In other words, you don't doubt the fact of being. So don't worry about knowing what you are. Ask yourself the question, from what experience do I derive the certainty that I am? Because you are certain that you are.
Yes.
You don't imagine it, you didn't read it, you know it. In fact, that experience is more certain. The certainty of your own being, the certainty that I am, has a different degree of certainty to it than any other experience you have. For instance, you are much more certain that you are than you are certain that this is a world. Now, ask yourself, from what experience do I derive the certainty that I am? Don't shake your head and say, I don't know, because if you didn't know, you would say, I don't know that I am. I'm not sure that I am, but you never say that, Ron. You always say, I know that I am. That knowledge of being comes from an experience. You must be having that experience in order to say, for absolute certainty, I am. Now, go to the experience from which you say, with absolute certainty, I am.
I have no words for it.
Perfect, Ron. Perfect. I say far too much about it. Why don't you have an, you're right. There are no words for it, but why can you not say anything about it?
It is too close.
Too close, and yes, that's true. Why else can't you say anything about it? When you look at it, I know you can't really look at it, but when you taste, when you know that experience from which you say with absolute certainty, I am, why can't you know it? It's more intimate, more familiar, more certain than anything else you have ever known or experienced. But why can't you say anything about it?
It is so present that I have no distance from it because I do not exist as a separate entity. I am it.
Yes. But if you, absolutely correct. But if you were to try and describe it to somebody who has, you have to imagine this, to somebody who doesn't know what you're talking about. It's intimate, closer than close, present. Try to say something that is true about it. Try to represent it in some way.
I would tell them now, in this instant, find the source of I.
You see, Ron, you're absolutely right. You see, I keep pressing you. I keep wanting you to say something about it, and you quite rightly avoid doing so. And I can see that you're doing it completely genuinely. The reason you can't say anything about it is because there's nothing objective there to say anything about. It has no defining features or qualities, and yet you are more certain of it than any other experience. So whatever it is, really the only element of your experience that is absolutely certain, it's more solid, it's more real, it's more tangible than concrete. It's so indestructible and present and real, and yet when you try to find it, when you try to say, you cannot say a single word about it. It's good. When I tried to get you to say something about it, you kept just saying something that evoked it in the listener without describing it, because you can't describe, there's nothing there objective to describe.
Yes.
Well, that's as close as you can get to knowing not just that you are, but knowing what you are. You can only describe what you are in negative terms, or as you did it, with silence, which is even better. So you do actually know what you are. You not only know that you are, you do actually know what you are, but the mind cannot describe that. So the mind says, therefore I don't know what I am. No, your being, does know what you are. But because the mind cannot describe that, the mind thinks, I don't know what I am. It's quite obvious to all of us that you do know, not just that you are, but what you are.
I remember in our last conversation some time ago, I said to you, as the person becomes less and less of a real entity, the statement, I am that, becomes that is that. Because there is no person in I. But you came back and you said to me something that almost knocked me over. You said, I am I.
Yes.